Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of The
Gabfest.
Time of that show.
Welcome to another episode of The Gabfest. It is one hell of a morning, but we're excited to be here. Anka is unfortunately not here today, so we would like to welcome her little sister.
Hey, girl.
Hello, everybody. It's finally time that I got a host on this show. I've been producing it for so long. It's my time to shine.
It's your time to shine. So you are not behind the screen today.
I am
You are
in front in
of
this.
the
I'm in
screen.
front. Okay, I'm there. I'm with y'all.
You're
Thank
with us. So, welcome back, Lorraine. How's it?
Ek was moeg man.
I can imagine you moeg.
Jarr. I was
It's
like,
only Friday. You can't be
no,
tired.
That time we went home last night and I left
went
you here.
rehearsals. Yeah, so I slept at 1, guys. Sure.
Oh no.
Ek was moeg.
But thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Gabfest. We are excited to have you join us. Today, we are not going to do the whole questions thing.
Hayibo.
Why
Okay,
not?
do you? Okay, you want to do the questions?
I am ready for questions. I have the answers.
You have the answers.
I have an answer that I would like to give.
Is it? Okay. Okay.
But
we'll
give me
do the
something
questions,
PG,
we
please,
do
before
that.
Anka scolds me at home.
How is your day going so far? Your morning while I find the questions quickly.
As a lekker weather. I love this weather, guys.
Do you like
As
this
a
weather?
nice weather, you know. Oh, and today, guys, please, ne, just do this when I speak Afrikaans, ne. Like.
Because you realize how much you speak Afrikaans.
Yeah, I was like, I went
English,
back to watch the
English,
show. I'm
English.
like, oh, yeah, the Afrikaans was coming out strong.
So we are jumping into. It was a hectic morning for me, guys. It was a hectic morning. Isaiah fell asleep with a chappy in his mouth. And I did not know he had a chappy this morning. He wakes up, he's like, Mommy, there's a chappy. And he pulls it. His pants was literally stuck to his
Body.
privates. It wouldn't come down, the whole chappy. Be busy Googling how to remove a chappy.
But
put
the
him in
chappy
the
was ice
car.
was a tight
It was a chappy, the original brand chappy. It was so hectic. If not that, load shedding. I didn't charge Scarlett's cochleas. It was a mess. It was a mess. But we are
Thank
here.
God you're here.
We are here. How was your morning, Mix?
I slept at like 4, so I am crippling at this point because I have an assignment due at 5. It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So while I'm here,
You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere. I'm like you today.
Choose a number.
7.
I'm gonna go. Number 7. I always take number 7. Have you ever thrown up in public?
No, not in public, but in my cousin's house. The first time that I was so lekker drunk.
Before
Guys.
you got a new life.
No.
Oh,
I
in
don't
the
know what
new
happened.
life
I think I was depressed. I think, yeah. Man stories.
And then Jesse's just gonna give us our coffee. So if you see him on the screen, don't mind him. He's just bringing, as you heard our morning. We want in time to make
Thank you.
coffee. Oh, you have a haircut, so you don't mind being on screen. Okay. Looking fresh.
Yeah, guys, so I drank. What was it, man?
Don't give
Russian
them
beer.
man. Don't give them. They didn't pay for
Pushka.
advertising.
Also strong whiskey, guys. Nobody must drink that thing. I woke up in my own vomit. That's so bad it was. And that
Did
day
people
I said,
find you
yeah,
like that?
yeah. My cousin Shame had to clean it up and stuff like that. But that day I'm like, I never. Shame.
Yeah.
It's finished.
You never.
Until this day,
Oh.
I'm done.
So
What's your number?
28?
Number 28. Why are we choosing number 28?
Don't worry, I got my reasons.
Oh, it clearly has a story to it that she doesn't want to share. Have you? No, man. How can It's the exact same question.
No, I found no sick.
No, look. Have you ever thrown up in public? What's your number 25? What's your biggest romantic fail?
Dat was
You?
de vraag, man.
Maar sy sê Anka nie.
Ja, jy was 'n lekker
My
vraag.
biggest romantic fail would be I went on a first date with a guy.
And then,
It was supposed to be our first date, but he stood me up. He left me alone at the mall. And then when I went home, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I fell asleep." It literally looked like it came out of a book. The excuse. Yeah, that's fine.
You fell
I hope
asleep.
you never
I really
ever-
liked him, guys. I gave him a second chance.
Oh,
Is it your current boyfriend?
No.
Okay.
Never.
I was just gonna say, yo,
we serve a God of a second chance.
God of a second chance. Okay. My question is quite boring, but okay. What do you think about a long distance relationship?
But you actually have answered this in our
Yeah.
previous shows. Actually.
Declan, it wasn't the question. I just randomly spoke about it, nah?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
for it.
yeah, you did
I'm
say
not
that.
for it at
I'm
all.
not for it also.
Just throw shade, I guess.
Sorry.
Especially for such weathers like today.
No, man. Communication gets lost. You're chatting to someone else on the side. No long distance relationship.
It's about the body, man. Body heat.
Yeah, I'll be with you now,
Body
babe.
heat.
Yeah.
Just wait, you can meet at 5 p.m. tonight.
No.
At least he won't leave you at the mall. He's not.
You won't leave you at the mall
And then I
alone.
was traumatized. I was 16, okay? I was 16. I was a victim.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right into the topic. I am aware that I didn't post today or anything today, but I tried to just post a story quickly. So we're gonna jump in today's topic. You know, me always looking at the screen. What's today's topic? I got the title. It's called the Prison Break Saga. Right? We are discussing the Prison Break Saga, and reason being underneath we put the Facebook rapist. If you are human and you live in South Africa, you should know exactly where the story is going. If you do not know, the Facebook rapist is the guy that's been trending for a while, Thabo Bester, and he escaped from prison, literally, but he does not look like Wentworth Willer,
He's a runner,
unfortunately.
he's a track star.
So he's not how Wentworth. You see why I say movies? It just looks attractive in movies. Oh, escape from prison and this whole thing. He's good looking, green eyes. No, Wentworth had blue eyes, nah.
It's okay, whatever.
Whatever. You haven't watched Prison Break.
I did, but I wasn't.
You weren't into it.
like
Did you
that.
watch it late though?
I think so.
It's one of those series. If you missed it when it came out,
You won't?
just leave it.
Just
It's
leave
like
it,
Pretty
no?
Little Liars. You couldn't watch it when season 3 is already
You have
out
to
and
start
then
with
jump
one.
in. Because you age with it.
You age with it.
No, meaning like if you past a certain age and you try to jump on the boat,
It's too
like it's too. You're like,
I'll
this
be
is a bit
honest, that's
immature
what
for you.
Same with
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. I watched until season 7 and I just never watched season 8.
I never
I
watched
just
that.
stopped
I
caring.
didn't watch that.
I never
I don't.
ever
I will
watched that.
never watch it either. I don't think it's one of those that I'm interested in.
Yeah,
watching.
it's not.
But anyway, Prison Break Saga. This guy escapes from jail, but how did he get into jail in the first place? Okay, so he used the company, and he basically, they would say that he took advantage of upcoming models, and the specific word they kept using was desperate models, right? And you use them, you come for an interview as a model, and once you're there, it was a rape case. So there was a few cases where they say, I went for this job, I went for a modeling career, but instead I was raped, right? Which is a sore topic. But then also what happened is he murdered his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her name is. But he murdered his girlfriend. He ended up in jail. Been living in jail. Last year, November, Lorraine found through research that there was a newspaper outlet that did announce that, listen here, that body that burnt last year, it was May, nah?
It was more of there's some
They didn't believe that
there's something wrong with
something
the
wrong.
report.
So last year, May, he in jail. He was burnt in a cell, and they first wrote it off as it's suicide. And it was like a suicide. He burnt himself because he didn't want this. And then in November, the article that Lorraine found, they brought to attention that
Ground up. That's
Ground
the
Up
name.
was the name.
Yeah.
And they brought up, do you want to tell us what they brought up? Okay, we'll get into that in conversation. Okay. They brought up that something seems a bit fishy. And then obviously everything was trending. Lookalike, bester lookalike, Facebook rapist lookalike. And I've been wanting to speak about it, but we put a hold on it because what if this is really a lookalike? You don't want to put that person in a situation where people call you the rapist and then it's not really you, you just have same features. But his picture went viral, shopping in Sandton.
And he looked hot, shame. No one.
right.
No, he's a criminal. Yeah, but that picture, shame.
Yeah.
He
Are
looked
you
hot.
being like Anka now? Anka, last week Anka said they don't look bad. Then me and Lorraine is like, how do you see somebody that's bad?
Yeah, like there's no type for
There's
a
no type
criminal.
for a
There's no
criminal.
type for a cheater. There's no type, man. There's no type.
You just
You're
there.
just there.
I'm going to take you saying he looks hot, that he was just very warm.
No, the picture. You know, he looked like an American guy.
Yeah, he didn't look like.
He
You
didn't
wouldn't
look
think he
like a
came out of
rapist.
jail.
Yeah.
Let's say he didn't look like he came out of jail.
As waar.
Because usually when we think about jail, we think somebody
He's
that has
shopping
a
in
scar
Sandton,
over
guys.
their
Yeah.
face, someone with tattoos on their face or something like that.
Kantinix.
But anyway, his picture went viral on social media, right? And everybody was like, is this a lookalike Facebook rapist?
I think she wasn't supposed to go with him.
She wasn't, because that's what,
attracted whomever took that picture
most.
to say hi.
yeah.
Yeah, something is fishy.
So he was taken with this picture and it went viral. So people started doing, we are in South Africa. If the police is not going to do it, social media is going to do it for
But
you.
the DCS actually asked the
they-
citizens to help them, guys, after
Which
keeping
I
this thing so
understand.
quiet.
But due to that photo trending,
They had no choice.
they had no choice, because it's the same like with the AKA situation. What's going to happen with the government and the police unless your normal people is trying to play investigate, investigator online and try to put puzzles and pieces together and all of that. And that's what happened. People was like, is this a lookalike or is it him? Nobody burnt, and that's how it really got the attention. Otherwise, I feel like we still wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
And what happened was they went back, and apparently there was a guy that when this fire broke out, he was a warden, and he actually sent an email and said, listen guys,
Lots of emails.
there's something not right here. Can we look into it? But nothing was done about it until all of this came out, and then they did the whole DNA testing and everything, and then it's not him. So the guy walking around in Sandton is the Facebook rapist.
Yeah, and to think that shame, I don't know where they found that body, because that person was dead before they actually
Put him there.
So
And
how
surprising,
did they get there?
how did they get there? Interesting, also the week before the fire, they moved his cell to an area where it's off
No
camera.
camera.
So, like, how is things not adding up for them to take that long? But then you
It's an
said
internal job.
that they knew, they just didn't want to lose their reputation
Of
as
course.
the
Of
jail.
course they knew. It's a fact.
So he was in a private jail on top of it.
It's a private public jail.
Private public, oh yeah, you said that's the real word. The
Semi-private.
private public.
Public, private. So it is a public facility run by a private company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that is where we come with today's topic. And we're just going to jump in from everywhere. First, based on the topic, how we do, we first speak about the trending topic at hand, and then we go into, in general, how this affects us, where to from here, and wara fish based.
Yeah.
If you are online, please do pop us something. Let us know what you think about the case. Let us know what you guys, how you feel about the case, how you feel about your safety, how you feel about anything with this guy just being out there. I saw yesterday that the lady is on the run, the
Yeah.
doctor.
Of course.
So we'll go into her as well. So the doctor that declared him somewhat this is him is the same lady that's in the photos of him shopping in
And
Sandton.
she is so pretty. I'm so
She is.
disappointed.
She's a
So you were like saying
aesthetics
couple girls.
couple girl.
Of wat is hy movie waar die couple so saam weggaan?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Daar's.
I thought you were
Bonnie and
talking about
Clyde.
the recent
South
movie.
Africa.
Yeah, are they the Bonnie and Clyde of South Africa? So she
Yeah.
declared that that is him, and then she's actually, you said they're dating.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, she actually claims that they are engaged.
Are they engaged?
So she's
She's
engaged
the-
to a rapist that killed his ex-girlfriend, and she has no fear for her life. Makes
We're
me
gonna
Nothing.
get
We're
there.
gonna get there. We have it on the
If
notes.
you don't mind, Avinj, I
Go
just
into
want
it.
to give a bit of background regarding the research on convicted rapists.
Yeah.
So this research, Wikipedia actually, says that rapist has found. The research on convicted rapists has found several important motivational factors in the sexual aggression of males. This is the reason. Those motivational factors repeatedly implicated are having anger at women, so hulle kwaad vir ons, die manne, and having the need to control or dominate us. So most of the rapists are angry at women. So maybe their mothers used to abuse them, or their grandmothers were not nice with them.
So
But
in
these are
movies, it's an ex
angry
that left you
men.
ugly, or a girl that didn't like you the
Again,
way you wanted
yeah.
it.
So there's a lot of healing that's lacking in most men because of how they grew up. But it's not. It doesn't give that person a reason
the
to
right.
do what they do.
Yeah, it does not give the right.
So just a little bit of background there. Because
How he ended up where he is. Such a brille ankle. Little lashes.
Little bit of mommy
Windscreen there.
issues.
No, she says I look like a psychologist when I have my glasses on. So
But you're speaking psychology now. So.
Yeah.
yeah.
Selling.
So, into it, what's your guys' thoughts about the whole case? When you saw it for the first time, did you bother going to Google further? What is this whole Facebook rapist thing? What was your thoughts when you saw it?
I'll be honest, nee. As soon as I come to South Africa, my life is a movie. I'm here experiencing everything and anything that I read, that I see on TV, that I experience in my dream. This is a fever dream, guys. Because remember the conversation you and I had at last week Sunday at Tokyo? I'm like, yeah, I heard about this on TikTok. And then I didn't think it was real because it's TikTok. You should take things that you see on social media for a grain of salt. And then you went in depth and I'm like, hi. So as we are here in Joburg, we are moving in the same area space as this man. Yeah, no, I
Is
don't.
it scary for you?
Yes,
If you're watching
it
and you
is.
don't know, Mickey is not from South Africa. She's here on an internship. So that's why she's saying coming here is a movie. And to South Africa, we're like, Africa, ooh, Africa.
And you say
she's
extra.
coming here and she's like, ooh, South Africa.
But honestly, getting back to like how this case is being researched, there's two options. One, they either killed the cellmate in the cell that was there.
No, it's not a cellmate. It's not.
So it's just a cadaver that they found.
They brought that body in.
They brought, it's part of
It's
the
paid.
setup.
Come on, it's paid, guys. The doctor probably paid the people.
Of course she did.
There's no other. What other reason can be there?
Money.
She paid them
related,
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything with money. And
Yeah.
what was your thoughts, Lorraine?
Remember we spoke about it and I told you how emotionally draining this whole
Yeah.
research has been because now you go deeper into women being attacked, women, GBV, deeper rapist, women being raped, women being killed and how they are killed and where they are found. It's like, oh my
How
word.
they found it's brutal.
What is the human trafficking? Like now you're going into a lot of other things that affects you as a woman in South Africa. And you then become scared to say, you know, I've got a daughter. It's me. So am I not really safe in
Yeah.
my own country? But we're supposed to be having a democratic country where freedom for everybody. We're supposed to be
Alma is a
moving.
freedom fighter.
You know, it's
No,
sad.
It is because if you look at how certain things are being romanticized, especially gender-based violence, especially in books, it's become a sort of fantasy. So like what you're reading now, Lorraine, it makes so much sense because you guys are trying to. I don't know what's wrong with this woman's mind. Because why would you get engaged to a known rapist, one, to a known killer,
You were actually in jail for
and now
it.
you're a sugar mommy also because clearly this man does not have money. You haven't taken him to sentence.
No, he has money though. Nah, he has companies and stuff. He is quite.
Wasn't it frozen because he went to prison?
He's been working from prison. That's another
Aye.
thing. He's been having Zoom meetings.
Like, oh, the Zoom meetings apparently is in New York. Yeah.
Aye.
So he's been having
So he
Zoom
puts a
meetings.
background filter here at the back.
I just want to know where you got the
Download Zoom
laptop,
backgrounds.
internet connection, and all these
Okay,
things
so
to
in
have.
jail,
Zoom.
Gala, if
I
you have money, we
understand
said
that.
most.
I understand.
You
ma-
are sorted out in jail if you have
he
money.
was running and getting an income from there. It's like, it's so mind blowing that this is how it works.
Yeah, people
and
can
were
kill you
saying,
from jail.
Exactly. Like you were saying, the first thing when you saw it and everything, and that always goes to my mind as well. People always say I'm super paranoid when I go somewhere, but I am really paranoid in terms of, I've had someone follow me in the Glen before, like many years ago, and that's always stuck with me in terms of going to a shop, ask for help, all those
So
kind
how
of
did
things.
you know he's following you?
It was a old look, Portuguese, Greeky looking kind of guy going into every single shop. When you're looking at this, they looking at that. And then I called my mom and she actually met me there. And then he followed both of us. So we both noticed this is a bit suspect. And then when we called the security, he left. So it wasn't just a normal shopper. And the fact that the amount of time that he was using following, it's not just coincidence. I mean, what old man is just going to walk into Ackermans and then into bras and things and stuff like that? It doesn't make sense for you to follow me in every shop, in the same department, in the same, looking at the same thing, all those kind of things.
So you were saying you were paranoid?
So I've always been paranoid and things like that. And when this came out, it was another, can you see?
Yeah.
Can you see? And then you want to tell me, don't be scared. You want to tell me, go to the shop and buy A, B, and C. You know how they tell us, why are you scared? Walk with that confidence and everything. There's only so much confidence you can have as a woman. All these things you watch on social media to show you what happens if someone attacks you. One of the funniest is that one where the one girl shows you how to put your seat down with the seat belt, and then somebody makes a joke out of it showing that you can't do that because modern cars, you press that thing and now you're going
It's slow-mo.
takes time.
it takes too much time. So I feel like also a lot of the things that's coming out now on how to protect ourselves need to also come up with the times. We had a helper that always said criminals have matric now. And it's so true, because back in the day, you just saw criminals as they struggling and they like this because of poverty.
Yeah.
And those kind of things.
Yeah.
But it's people that is educated now. I mean, you have teachers that's rapists. You have professors that's rapists. You have bosses that... all those kind of
Fathers
things.
and mothers,
and-
criminals.
it
Fathers that
doesn't
kills the whole
take-
family.
Exactly.
Hey, he leaves no one.
And that's for
behind.
me the scariest part when I saw the story, that it's so real that even if you're caught, you still don't know if your safety is there. Because let's be honest, he's one of a million that got caught. And still from that 1 in a million escapes
Yeah.
through help. How wardens must have known, police
I
must have
actually
known.
have that report for 2020, 2021 escaped people, and how many
Have escaped.
have been
It's
re-arrested.
I have like this thing, or like even when I'm on campus, I dread walking alone. I think I told you, I don't go to class alone. I go sit at the tuck shop and I wait for someone to come that I know. I just have this fear of something happening. Like it's crippling.
It is. It's not a nice feeling.
It's really not a nice
Driving.
feeling. I don't go,
Stopping at
even in
the
Namibia,
robot.
it's a lot safer. It's not safe, but it's a lot safer than it is here, because I think when Anka and I go, let's say Anka and I went to China Mall, and I took a bit of time to get into the car. She's like, Mikaela, you can't eat Tuni. You need to get in and close the door. And I'm like, what is happening? Why are we so, why is it the way that it is? Or like,
We just blame
Anka-
government for everything right now, because
Honestly.
I am busy blaming government.
Anka told me I can't wait. When a guy cat calls me, I can't give him attitude. I must just ignore it.
If what?
Yeah.
Because
Catcall.
he can
That's the
either
same
shoot
thing.
me or kill me.
You ignore it, you don't be rude back, and
You
you don't be
just-
nice back.
You just walk. You don't
You
answer
know,
back
guys,
nothing.
I feel like criminals have got more rights than we do.
They
Yes.
do. They
like,
do.
for instance, somebody can break into your house. You can't even shoot them.
Yeah, you end up in
You
trouble.
end up in jail for some reason. Like, how is that possible? First of all, number one, you are trespassing. Oh, another thing is, guys, I don't know if you know this, but they say this person will not be trespassing if you don't have that sign outside on your wall that says
So
this
me
is
paying the
private
bond is not
property.
trespassing.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if I go into
Yeah.
KFC in the middle of the night, I lust for chicken wings, and I go to Chicken Licken and I go and steal some wings, that's not trespassing because the door doesn't say do not trespass.
What is so, girl? The law is crazy. It doesn't even make sense. It really, really, really doesn't. But anyway, ladies, you must have pepper spray, teasers, and we must go for self-defense classes. Ons moet hulle-
This is my problem with pepper spray and teasers and that. That's why I'm saying I think we need to move to a more modern way
That
because
is modern for physical.
I don't know
That's
yet
physical.
for what is the answer. But let's be honest, it's so fast if you watch these videos how they kidnap a girl or something like that. You have pepper spray in your bag when you can't even find your cell phone in your bag and
But
you're
that's why
scratching for your
self-defense will come
bag
in.
and stuff like that. No, but I'm saying in terms of when we want to say pepper spray and the teaser and all of that, it's so much effort to get those things than to come up with something else.
But they have it
and
still.
if you're going to say, if the government is like going to tell us, okay, go for self-defense, do you know how much self-defense classes are?
Yeah, they should make it for free. Actually, they should
It is
have
so
it at
much per
schools
hour.
already. Mm.
So I find that there are so many things that we are being told, go and do this,
Yeah.
not to be safer, but to protect yourself. As where there could just be somebody making the place a better world, a safer world, and all those kind of things.
Yeah, but this is a work for the community as well. Yes, the police is there, but you as the community.
I don't even go to the community.
Not
Community
mob
is making me
justice and
so
ally.
narrow.
Yeah, but we need to take responsibility first as a person, and then we can blame other people if we are doing the right thing. Do you understand? No?
But now I'm asking, but let's take Tabo's example now, the best case. If we say, let's take a situation like this and we say it's the community, how can the community help this?
By reporting, because there's most now nothing. So I see you, Tabo, hello.
No, I mean like to prevent it in the first place.
To prevent what? The escape? What specifically?
As a rapist and a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know you were a rapist and a murderer,
They'll
like
put him in a private place.
let's just say, before example, he's been out of jail for a year already, roaming the streets, right? I don't know. I've never seen Tabo's face before.
Okay.
He lives next door, all those kind of things. But he could still be raping people on the daily or
Yeah.
still working in whatever job he was doing with the models. But as the community, that's what I mean. With community, it's easier when somebody is already known
But if you don't
for
know, you
doing the
don't know.
crime.
Lorraine, is this guy attractive to you?
No, that's a no.
She's showing
That is-
Lorraine a picture
That
of
is mug
Beska.
shots, Nana. No, imagine. Mense met my wys dat hulle mooi mug shots. Is your ID picture nice? Yeah, is your ID picture nice?
Of course!
Nah, but my ID picture
Because
is
you
also
know
not
why?
nice.
We have tricks on TikTok called the passport photo makeup.
Uh-uh.
Anyway,
We
But
didn't have
most-
TikTok then.
Most of us, our pictures are not nice, guys. So please don't do that. But if,
okay, here's another one. It's a selfie he took. It's a selfie he took.
yeah, that doesn't look like him now. Guys, that is unatable. Lost for him, but I don't understand. What are you trying to
I'm
ask
trying
me?
to say, like, I'm not asking you, I'm just adding on.
No, but
And
you're
then
asking,
you
we want
explain.
to
Yeah, then you
answer
explain it further. I'm saying, like, if we keep saying it's the community's responsibility with everything, to certain things, I do think, yes, it's the community's
No, yeah, not for
responsibility.
rapists and
But when
allies.
it comes to the topic we're speaking about today, it makes it a bit difficult. Like I say, if this person lives in the community and everybody knows this is who he is. But for a normal person, every day in the streets, getting kidnapped, you know what I'm saying? The encounters is so quick if you're taken out of a mall. But then I do understand if you say community had where you live.
Where you live.
Somebody did
can't
something
control
already.
something out
You
of-
wouldn't have been in the Glen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think also what's also important to note, it's easy to say that we as a community need to step in cases like this, but then you also need to remember that self-preservation also needs to take place because I have a family. I have kids at home.
No, but that's the
So
issue.
me
That
stepping in-
thinking is why we don't get anything done.
the
No,
reason-
because
but you need to
everything is so
understand that
selfish.
those thinking is not just for me. It's for my family. So now I step in for someone else and I
But
care, and
then
I'm the
No,
breadwinner of
that
my
means
family.
nothing will ever change.
Yeah, the thing that I'm actually saying about the community. Let's shift from focus from Thabo, ne? You know that this person raped this child, right? You know. Now the family is going to court alone. There is no support in the community, and that happens.
But if you have the money,
But that's different.
No, this is now no money. Like just the normal day-to-day people that is going through these things. So no, I'm talking about where the foundation starts of support. With normal people. So if the community can stand together and support the family and show this man that whatever it is that whatever it is that you did, we are against it, and whatever the courts will say, you are not welcome in this community. Jy moet loop. So, but people normally, I find that al het hulle gedoen wat hulle gedoen het, daar is die Afrikaans weer, they are still comfortably living in the community.
around, and they say this is what this person does for us. I've met
He's
a lot
leader.
of people that
So
does
I'm
that.
saying make it uncomfortable for the perpetrators to be in that
I
community.
understand, and that I
the
agree with.
next person will not even dare try to do what the others did because
Fair
of
enough.
the community will show you, "Gore wena, we will not leave each other."
No, that I understand. I completely agree with that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that in instances where violence is involved, you need to think a little bit further.
Yeah, but we're
than
not
just
speaking
acting.
about.
We're talking about rape now.
Rape is violence, guys. At
Yeah,
the
but I
end of the
mean,
day,
so you're
it's
telling
violence.
me if you see someone getting raped,
I
you're
know, I
gonna
would-
say it self.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
That's different. If I see someone getting raped, what is your next step? Do you want me to step in as a woman that can't really aid anything because I'm weak, quite physically? Or do I go to someone that can actually help?
Yeah, but by the time you go to someone, when you come back, this thing is finished. Then that person is scarred for life.
Okay, now great. Okay, give me a
Great,
solution
this
to
and
this
that.
scenario, okay?
Yeah.
Lorraine gets raped.
Yo,
I walk
God
by.
forbid.
God
Don't say
forbid.
God
In
forbid.
Jesus' name,
Say
these
it's
words
not
will not
happening.
found footing. Lorraine gets raped. I walk by, and this is a big man. I'm small in frame, and I don't have any power. I step in. He rapes me. End of the day, he shoots us both.
Okay, let's say, where are you?
We're in like let's say we were at a party.
No, there's a lot of people. You can make
Yeah,
noise.
Okay.
So my thing is,
Not
here's
no
my
like
thing.
in a. Have you ever been like at a party where you go into a room and it's just silence in that room, like it's
Here's my thing.
soundproof.
There is situations where
you get
people,
rapists who are very.
You just go and make
They plan
noise,
stuff.
get people to get there.
Here's my thing.
That's all
There's
that you can
enough
do.
videos to also show how fighting can help you. If you are more than one person to get somebody at least off so that the person can get away, I feel like we're just at the point where what we always discuss on the show. There's a difference between selfish and a difference between helping the next person or you doing something, what's your motive or something like that. Because there is situations like with those girls at the mine where all of them were raped, and how many were they? 12, nah?
Somewhere there,
That was
28
raped.
and 12.
And it was a woman that organized the whole thing. There is those situations where someone organizes and puts somebody in a position where you didn't ask for it.
Where it's like
But
they
I
take
do
it away.
feel like we need to get to a point that you need to think, if this was me, if this was my child, what would I want to happen? And I feel like, I understand, I'm not saying anything against what
No,
you're
understand.
saying, but I feel like we need to get to a point where it's not what could happen to me in situations, because that's exactly why we in the issue. We've got a generation of selfish people. We've got a generation of let's protect each other. There's a situation happening in Elders at the moment, and there was a video where somebody was saying, based on that situation, at least they're putting food on the table. And it's like, is that where we are with the thinking? It's the same like a drug dealer, and the street says no, but he buys us groceries every month.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that happen is selfish gain, that's where I say I question the community part, because it's a lot about what can I get out of it, as long as it's not my own, as long as it's not me, as long as it's not my children, as long as it's not my sister, it's fine.
But I agree with her in some way, because you
I'm not-
cannot
I'm not
put
com-
yourself
of-
in harm's way,
way,
because then
yes.
you are as useless as that person that's been raped right there, especially if it depends on the body of this guy. But I'm so sure, as you
totally
said,
disagree, though,
the room is quiet. When you make noise, that person will stop.
Fair enough.
Just make the noise and get attention for people to
I'm
come.
not-
But you cannot, guys, no, Finch, you
Okay,
cannot put
I
yourself
just wanna
in
clarify.
I'm
harm's
just saying,
way.
like, if
You
something,
can't.
let's say this guy
know.
doesn't have a gun or anything.
No, you don't need
Oh,
a
then-
gun.
Something.
then
No,
it's
but I'm
different.
saying you're not gonna know whether the person has a gun or anything. But
Safety
I'm
first,
just
I won't.
saying. I'm just saying, if that had to happen to me,
Mm.
I'd be scared to be in your surrounding, if that's the thinking. Because if I'm in that situation, I would think this people's gonna leave me here. And then the other thing is, I'm not saying to use now, but I'm just saying the kind of thinking is like, that tells me that if I'm ever in the situation, I'm alone.
No.
Let me clarify.
You're not
That's not at all what I'm
She
saying.
said she's gonna go get help.
I understand that, but she's using an example in a party. If this is
Yeah,
in a
it's-
street or somewhere else, die rape gebeur nie altyd by 'n party nie.
But the rape doesn't happen in the street. We must also
Can I
make
just clarify what I'm saying? It's not that when I see danger, I'm just going to turn the other cheek or
Yes.
whatever. That is not
But
what
you're
I'm
gonna do
saying,
the
danger. So
safest
please understand
No,
that.
solution.
I'm not saying that. I'm just
So,
saying
what
it makes me
You
question,
need to,
which is
you-
nothing
you
against
need
what
to-
you're saying.
You need to look at
the situation.
what is happening.
Yes.
If this were to happen like in a field or something, what then? What happens?
Yeah.
We're in the village. There's no network connection. What is my next action?
Okay, I think maybe
run
I'm just
for
a
help.
bit different. I'm not saying anything
I will
against,
jump in, of
but
course,
I'm
because
saying
as
my
the
personality
type
would
of personality
really
that
try
I
and
am,
help a
I
situation.
will jump in. I will.
We can help in different ways.
We can
guys.
help.
We
Help
can
is
help
help.
in
And you don't
different
have to
ways.
agree with me the same way I'm not agreeing with you. You don't have to agree with my opinion.
No,
that
we're
I'm
not
saying
disagreeing
that-
also. We are saying that we can help,
Help.
in different ways. And that is our what I'm saying.
No, but I'm just saying what I'm saying, because I do want to say that if I'm in the situation and somebody leaves me in it, I would feel based on what you're saying, and I am in that situation, it makes me feel like, God forbid, I pray that it never happens, but or me, my children, someone I know, family or something, it makes me feel like
if somebody
it's
leaves,
left to somebody thinking
I
that
also-
I'm
I also
alone
feel like
in
God,
this.
sometimes when those
If
things
somebody
happen, God
leaves
sends
you
someone
guys-
and then that person knows what to do in that instant.
yeah.
I also feel like sometimes God curates the situation in order for
No,
you to
I
get
don't
help.
believe that.
Again,
because
it's
then
again the motive for
No,
leaving.
There's people that
Are you
go through
leaving?
it. I don't want to add God's name to
Are you
this.
leaving?
listen to what I'm
Guys,
saying.
are you leaving
Help comes.
because you are running away from the situation, or are you leaving to go get help? There's a difference.
Yes.
And there's
If you are running
sometimes
away,
nothing
listen,
you can do.
if you run away, listen, this is like a big thing that happened during COVID. Like a bunch of people in Namibia, a bunch of guys were being dragged on social media that they raped girls. Kanti, there was like, let's say there were 20 guys. Five of the 20 guys were actual rapists. And during that time, you'll hear, oh no, but I was there that night. I'm like, okay, so you knew. You didn't tell anyone. You didn't, you really couldn't help physically. But you didn't bother to go tell, I don't know, his father, his mother, his sister, I don't know, someone, or go report it. And this is also a very sensitive topic for me, because it's like, do I report and put the victim to shame? Because some victims never come out and speak it because of that shame that they feel. Especially in traditional countries where you'll see police officers often blame
the woman.
the woman. What
Yeah.
did you wear?
I
How were you
have
talking?
that on my notes.
How do you look?
Like you
Why were
at
there?
fault.
You are at fault.
Mm.
There's so many examples of friends who literally just sit in their friend's home, and their female friends bring a guy over.
But I wonder if you
And then
do
this guy
report
acts
it.
funny.
If you report it and you are not raped and stuff like that, then nobody, the person that's the victim, if she doesn't say anything,
Nothing will
nothing
happen
is
to
going to
it.
happen. So that is not really helping
It's
in
not.
that sense.
So the thing is, it's such a difficult topic as to what is the next step. Because if it were up to me, I'm not gonna shoot the guy in the head, but I'm
I
not gonna
would
say that.
too.
But what
saying
usually happens is if one person comes out, then everybody comes out, and then they don't feel
Some.
like I'm left alone.
Some, yeah, some.
So you'll somewhat hear, as long as noise is made, some people will come out. But then there's also the side where girls do lie.
Yes, and guys, I feel that when you lie, you are putting the victims
Victims.
in such a predicament, as you said, not to even go because they are not going to be believed. And I personally feel that people that lie must go to jail.
Yeah.
I
I also
They
feel
must
like that.
go to jail so that the next one that thinks of lying shouldn't even think of the lie in the
You know,
first
And
place.
those
Sorry,
story I told you now, one of the guys, he was lied about. The girl was his ex-girlfriend and she got jealous that he was with someone else. And,
And
she
she
lied.
went.
She lied that he raped her and he didn't. He wasn't even there that
That
night.
is very cruel.
And
It
people
is cruel.
believed her because she had a big following.
So, but here's the other thing where I say, in terms of what you were saying now about the lying and everything, there was also a situation on social media. If you know who I'm speaking about, sorry if you are a family member or anything, but it happened, right? There was a girl that went missing for a while, and everybody was circulating, missing, please help, please help, please
Oh, she
help.
was with a boyfriend.
And she actually just went on holiday with the boyfriend.
I think
and
that is so irresponsible.
it is so
guys.
irresponsible, and came back as if nothing happened.
And you
but
know-
what makes me angry with like that now, next time, if
When
something
happens
happens
to
to
her,
somebody,
seriously, also even
not
her.
Oh,
only-
you mean crying
my
wolf?
thing is,
Yeah,
my thing is,
basically.
even if it's not her, if it happens to her, I'm not gonna lie, then her family must at least give people other evidence. But for others, because in the same time there was other 3 people missing as well. What makes me angry about the fact that, remember, all documentaries tell us the first 28, 48 hours is the most important.
Yeah.
And what makes me angry is that if that happens and everybody was rotating this and they're angry that this girl was just with her boyfriend, God forbid now your cousin or something goes missing and everybody tells you, wait 5 days, she might pitch up, kind of a thing. And that's what lying also does, where everybody could be helping to look for a specific person.
Yeah.
We all have this, but remember last week that one lied.
And now
we're putting it, and it could be a case where she does end up in the situation of Tabo being raped or being murdered or
Oh, human
something like that,
trafficking.
human trafficking or anything like that. But people who lie just cause some sort of distrust in others that
attention-seeking moments now. Like,
exactly, and then now it's, if somebody really needs the help, there's not going to be that amount of people that was there for the person that lied, because they might just feel, what if this is another story
lie.
like
Yeah.
that?
I think it's very difficult to get back from that because, example, if I lied to you that no, I was raped, nee, and I give you evidence, but then next week I'm like, oh yeah, I was just doing a social experiment. For who?
but I also
Why?
I also think that again the law always fails us for some reason.
Yeah, it really does.
Makes me
I
so
can just go
angry.
to the police station and say, "Wens het my nou gou geklap." There's no evidence, but she'll be in trouble. I'm not saying, guys, but also us as women, we need to know our rights. We need to know procedures that when this happens, this must happen immediately. Because it is very intrusive, apparently, when you go to the police station or wherever you go to for this rape kit to be the whole procedure to be, well, process rather, to be done. Het voel net weer of jy weer gereep word.
Yeah.
Because it's that intrusive. But you have to do it, because if you want this person to be caught, you have to go through that process rather, and just get it done. And guys, it is really sad that we as women need to go through these things, because it's not fair.
It's not fair.
You know, as
It's really not fair.
coming from a younger generation, it's become very difficult to be able to say, oh, I stand for this, oh, I'll do this in a situation, because of the different types of situations we're being put into and how views tend to often obstruct what the next action should be. And I like this topic about rape is very touchy for me personally,
Me
because in high school, I was sexually harassed by this guy. And it was very difficult for me. I never told my mom, ever. It's very difficult for me to speak about now, but it's not nearly as bad as getting raped. But that
What's the
type of,
difference?
how do I say?
I'm sorry to ask, but just
No,
for our
I'll
viewers.
explain. Being raped, you're helpless. You can't do anything. Sometimes when you play fight with your significant other and you're like, I'm going to punch you, and he just does this, and you just lose the fight. Imagine what that feels like, being overpowered like that, something taken away from you that you'll never get back. You're being violated in every possible sense. And this person, mentally, for me, the question is always like, how do you mentally keep going as a man when you see this woman is crying and begging you to stop?
I think they
How
get
is that
some
normal?
motivation in that.
Some people
It's
are turned
scary.
on by
It's
it.
People
very,
are
very
turned on by
scary.
that.
Whereas being sexually harassed, it's like I wasn't taken up seriously because this was a LRC in my school. So I did go complain, and the fact that my life skills teacher didn't take me up seriously, it just silenced me a lot. So I feel like being raped and being sexual is both equally bad, but somehow the one is just a lot more worse than the next one. At least I got a chance to get away.
I want you
if
to
that makes
tell
sense.
us what, when somebody sexually harasses you, what's the difference? Because rape is now the penetration, right?
Rape is the penetration, sexual harassment is groping.
Could be anything, slapping your bum.
Slapping your bum,
those
groping.
kind of things.
He literally, if we were in the tuck shop stands, tuck shop lines, we used to wear dresses. Then his hands would go under my dress and touch me. Stuff like that. And the one time I was talking to a friend of mine, and I don't know where it came from, he just randomly turned my body towards him. He hugged me, and then he groped me in front of that guy.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the
So what
difference.
ended up, what?
Nothing
you-
happened.
Nothing. You went through
Nothing.
school.
I went through school. I wasn't taken up seriously. Found out that this guy's also at my university.
Oh.
Yeah.
So now you tell me, South Africa, that when you as a young person are in that situation and you see this person continuing with life, like nothing is going to happen to them. And for the fact that sexual harassment is taken so lightly because there was no penetration whatsoever, it is like, boys are naughty.
Boys are nice. If the boy hits you, he likes you.
He
It's
likes
that
you. So
mentality.
abuse is like, he likes me. Chamors. So, and then I'm not saying it's right, but then when women then kill or
Their partners or a person.
then now the focus is on you are a murderer. They don't look
Yeah.
at where the problem was. And that for me
It's like, I have a very controversial
hurts.
opinion, but there was his mom that killed the stepfather because he was busy raping her daughter. And then she went for jail for it. But I'm just like, let her go free.
I feel like
raping.
everything must have consequences. So jail is jail, and because if we think like that, then someone like Bester could also have a reason. Maybe he was raped as a child.
Fair
Then
enough.
you can't say, but he went through it, that's why he's like that today. So somebody will always, but the difference is there's someone else in that same situation that did something differently. They found help maybe in a specific way. They worked on themselves. There's always a better answer. The hurt is not less, but their actions afterwards allows them to live a certain way, a better way. It's the same like, what's that series, Genie and
Georgia.
Georgia. A lot of people is for it, like, I want a mother like that, and it just, you see how it cripples the next generation.
Yeah.
The kids are messed up now, but nobody sees that part, what you were speaking about, how we sensationalize everything. Look at 365. Everybody wants to. If you look at 365,
How is kidnapping
she
sexy?
was kidnapped. She was put in a sexual manner until you fall in love with me. You are staying in this room. It's exactly this. You kidnapped, you're being raped, you're doing all these things.
That's abuse.
It's abuse.
It's abuse.
But what happens is now you think that's sexy because they turn it into a porno, and now it's exactly every man now watches that thing and thinks,
that's
I
what
can
women
do
want.
this. This is what
Yeah,
women want.
but us as women as well, we need to take responsibility for our actions, guys. You know how many times, I'm not sure if you guys fall under this category, but a lot of women, they will like say, no, but they honestly,
They want you to.
they want you to.
I know.
So
If I say no, it means no.
No, a lot of women do that. So this for me, one of the guests on your father's show on Tuesday alluded to this, and it actually resonated with me, right? They were talking about morals. And he expounded on moral discipline, focusing on the word discipline. Who you are consistently every day drives that. We always find ourselves in situations where it questions the way we interact and it questions the way we respond. That then becomes a point where moral discipline starts to become a guiding principle in one's life. For example, are you going to allow emotions to master you, or are you going to master your emotions and stay within your guiding principles? So who we are at the core consistently every day should say, is this right or is it wrong? Yes, maybe we will be emotional when we see this person walking about and having a nice time, but are we going to allow our emotions to master the next action? Or are we going to master our emotions and say, okay, this is what I need to do. Find out maybe if another lady has gone through the same thing, because as you said, if we are more than one, maybe we can go together and encourage each other to actually go and report this person. Maybe that can help. Because sometimes I say, you say, as you say, so there's no other evidence because of malicious intents sometimes. So women are, again, the only power we have is to stand together. Because if we don't stand together, we will be complicit in the abuse that we suffer on a daily basis. If it's digital abuse that you can go into, it's that. If it's physical, emotional, financial abuse, talk about it. Talk about it with groups. Talk about it with your friends. Sometimes people actually, as you said, Vinci, come out because there's more than one. And then maybe we can
For me,
combat.
I just wish that the liars would stop, because that would make it easier. If you raped me and we could use, so I'm going to bring it now and something that's a bit realistic, because it will be difficult. It's not like movies where we can investigate who else did this happen to. You need to straight out ask, this guy raped me. Has it happened to anybody, and does somebody want to stand with me, kind of a
course,
thing.
fair enough,
But then you also, in the embarrassment, I don't want people to know, because remember we spoke about it last year. We spoke about also in relationships, how far do you share with your partner if something happened to you, something bad happened to you? What do you want your partner to know if you have been raped before, something like that?
So be loud about
And the thing is, then you could have that in your mind. I don't want others to know, because what about my future partner and stuff like that? So there is certain things that you do think about. And how I wish it would be that easier, just to have a page where there is something and you can post, but it's truthful, because so many times there's stories that go viral and then you find out it's not true. But then what happens to the thing is, the person that really posts for information and, guys, stand with me, so that this can change. Because many a times, if you're in the situation, you're not only doing healing for yourself, you try to protect the next person. This happened to me, I don't want it to happen to someone else. And that somewhat forms a big part in it as well. And then I want to jump onto what Kimmy is saying. She first agreed with what I was saying just now, and that was actually my reasoning but I got a bit fired up when I was saying, I think I would be so bothered later to know what could I have done to help someone, and then I left in that situation. What if I could have stopped it? That will play on my mind constantly. If you go back and the person happens to be gone, what happened to the person? Those kind of things. And she just says that would bother her and make her feel worse. That's why she would help. Then the other thing she points out is, it's one thing if the law doesn't believe you, and this is a big thing. What happens if your family and your friends don't believe you? Then what from there? Because I know I had a friend, and she stayed with us for a while because she was going through the situation. And the saddest thing is that her mom wasn't playing that role because her mom still wanted to be with the guy and certain things like that. So eventually at the end they did split up, but it was
It
a
didn't
little
work.
too
Too
late.
late.
It was a little too
And
late.
the damage has
The
been
damage
done.
has been done. And it is a thing with what happens if your family or your
Doesn't believe.
friends don't believe you. If you share with somebody, or then not only maybe don't believe you, they stick up for the next person. Maybe they were just going through something. You get enough stories of people that come out and say,
Are they not support groups?
I'll be honest. The reason
but I feel
I
mentally
didn't-
it will.
Mentally, it will
I never
destroy
spoke
you.
on it was because I just didn't want anyone to know.
Why?
I don't like when people poke. For me, it's like
Don't ask me the full
don't
story.
ask me if you keep poking. I lash out.
Lash out.
So
It's
I'm the
really
same,
bad.
but
Stop
I do
poking.
have my person that
I
I
can't.
because we formed a relationship in a way, and I don't want to say who's the person because then you know how some people
Yeah,
are, they
yeah.
go befriend the person just to
Get info.
get info
Is
or
it
something
conventional
like
word?
that. So I do have someone, and that's the someone knows when we speak, even when she speaks to me, we don't give an answer, you don't console, you don't anything. Then
Just
later
listen.
on in the evening, you'll just get a WhatsApp or something that's something encouraging, a word of encouragement, or thank you for telling me. I hope you feel better. Know that I'm here for you, kind of a thing. So I do have that person that I share with certain situations. I've also gone through a few things that nobody knows that I've gone through it. But with my age and maturity that has come as time went, I'm a lot more open to speak about certain things, not telling the story, but a bit more confident in speaking about certain things. And for me, I found that helped a lot in terms of at least having the one person. But the thing is, it's difficult. We spoke of the last time, not knowing is this person really for
Trustworthy.
you.
Yeah.
But also, I just want to find out from you, is not talking helping?
I'll be
You.
honest. I'm not. I'm very sensitive. I am. But one thing that triggers me the most is when I share something with you.
And then you use
And
it
you-
against me. Or
No.
what?
When you tell other people,
Oh.
even if it's in a joking setting, it triggers me like no one. And that's why I always keep quiet, because it's like I asked you, don't tell anyone. Don't
Okay.
even bring it up slightly, even though it's a light situation.
So is it better, Ma,
Just-
to advise people to go and speak to a psychologist?
Yes, I
I'd
do
say
believe in
if
that,
and
yes.
then once you've dealt with it in psychology, then with
Educate.
me for specifically something that's now not to do with rape, but a situation that everybody knows about. Can you see Scarlett in the shot?
No.
Yeah. Guys, if you see Scarlett's head here behind Lorraine,
Oh, I can
I'm
see
so
it.
sorry. She's just staring there.
She
She
looks
came
so
with
sad.
me to the studio. Please forgive her. She's waiting for the show to finish so that I can come out. But
She's actually saying
Mommy, it's
5
time.
minutes to go, Mom.
5 minutes. But what I wanted to say was based on that we're speaking about now with my situation with Scarlett. I spoke about it at least a year later. But in that time, I was busy going for therapy. And once that allowed, I've got through that process of speaking to somebody you don't know and is forced to keep the situation because they're not allowed to tell
Confidence.
anybody. It's
Yeah.
confidence. You go to a random, with me it was so random. I went to a different race.
Confidentially.
I went to a different area, just to be sure
Different age.
that this is not going to get anywhere where somebody knows this person or something like that.
Yeah.
And it helped a lot. So then when I was able to speak to others about it, it wasn't as, I don't want to say emotional because emotions stay there.
It wasn't
But
so
how you deal
sensitive,
with it.
like you were not on the edge of if somebody now says something
It
that
triggers
you
you.
don't
It
like,
triggers
it will trigger you.
immediately. But then what happens in a situation like Mickey says, she did speak to somebody that is of.
The LO
But then do you
teacher.
think that's where the difference comes in who it is? Because like she says, it was somebody that was like class president vibes. And then bringing in class president vibes, I wanted to ask you today is Oscar's court case
Oh yeah,
with
it's coming out apparently.
based on good behavior, he is doing Bible study in prison, guys. And because he's doing Bible study in prison, they feel it's okay for him to leave jail, not even doing half his sentence.
So passion killings are just...
It's literally just half.
Yeah.
He has 13 years.
It's the law. And I feel that us as citizens of South Africa, if we are against this law, we need to vote for a party that will make sure that the legislation will change, because he is well in his rights, regardless of how we feel about it. Now, for me, he can stay in jail forever.
He needs to.
But the law allows him.
Guys, let's look at the case. It was a passion killing. That man let his emotions get the better of him. He's going to get in the next
He
version.
didn't master his emotions.
And the thing is, no matter what Bible studies he's claiming to have gone through, he still has not committed
to God.
No. To the crime.
Oh.
In terms of
He's
still sticking to the word that it is
An
an
accident.
intruder. It's just, at least then, if you're going to come out on good behavior, take you out.
But do you
He
think...
won't, because then they're going to sentence him for more.
That's what I wanted to say. Actually, to say,
Take
if he
you
does
out.
say it, is
Take
it going to
you
change?
Because then his Bible study is not... Because when
that man is to
the
be like Job.
the conviction in Christ is hectic with the smallest things.
Yeah.
He can't say you have a relationship with God and now you're coming out with good behavior when you're not convicted.
He's going to use Job as his
But
testimony.
maybe
I was
he
in prison. I
confessed
was
his
wrongfully
sins with the Lord.
convicted.
No.
As a thing.
Then don't try to come out early. Sit with your punishment because you know
but
you deserve
he's
it.
just coming out, but he's still in jail. Because if he commits anything, he goes right
Yeah,
back.
but now my issue is if he commits anything, that's putting someone else in the
No,
danger.
not murder. Like, even if he steals a sweet, he's going back.
I actually agree with Benji. I think this Oscar Pistorius thing, it's a little bit... It's too sensitive, especially with what's happening now, guys. I saw that you guys... There's this ad that keeps popping up on YouTube where it says South African women and children get raped every 28 seconds.
But then you're letting someone... it's like...
What are you doing?
So that's also my issue. Don't tell us this is the problem, but you're letting all these people out of jail.
Yeah. And death penalty, will it help?
Oh yeah, we said we're going to speak about the
Will
death
it help? Because
penalty.
now the jails will be full, guys.
Okay, morally,
Shame it
I
will be
don't
full.
believe in the death penalty. I don't believe that we have the right to take someone else's life because they took someone else's life. That is not our place. So that's my stance on that. Just because of time. I quickly had to put that in there.
For me, like I was saying, there's a certain extent where I do think people is better off, but like Mickey says, it's not your place. But here's my problem with death penalty, and I share it with you.
Yeah.
My problem is South Africa is already so corrupt. The one that speaks will automatically be in jail with death penalty.
Oh, yeah.
And the person that did the crime is walking freely because now we
Clearly,
just killed the person
best us out.
to keep quiet. So that's my issue. South Africa, once you can make a pothole disappear, we'll speak about other stuff.
I think you want to go into the comments. Clayton says, trauma is not easy to deal with for most of us. A lot of people are not ready to deal with what you are dealing with. Sharing is not easy, even if it is
The
a person you trust.
That's why we say try and go to someone who doesn't know you from a bar of soap. That really helped for me.
But even for me, even if it's really difficult, yes, I agree with you, Clayton. But sometimes we need to really, really think
let your guard down.
of other people. When you make decisions, sometimes it must be selfless. It is difficult, but how are you going to feel when you find out after you there were 10 more?
After you, yeah.
Whereby if you maybe did something, you could have stopped this
That's your man.
person. Yeah,
That's your man.
Yeah, I say that.
There's your man on the street.
But it's true what you're saying. With me, like I say, everything, I really want the best for someone else. And it's whether you take it the right way, that's the maturity from the next person.
Yeah.
But what's going to allow you to
sleep
heal?
at night.
And also if you know your personality, like Mickey was sharing her side, if you know your personalities, you don't want someone to poke, find a different thing to find the healing. I must say that's how I also got into journaling a lot at school. Primary school, I started journaling. Every year I burn my diary
Well,
But it's just when I go, I don't want you to know what was going on in my head. So
kind of it must deep, man.
anything. That's how I get my emotions out. I write it down, and I can go read it a year later. Not a year later, like maybe even a month later, and I see, do I still feel this way? Sometimes you laugh at. Go read your old Facebook posts where you're like, yeah, did I really say this? Those kind of things, and it helped me a lot. But I do burn it every time, because when a book is finished, I end up burning the book because I don't want someone else to be in those thoughts. But it does help me get those thoughts out there.
Yeah.
I even have that purple book you always want me to write in.
Yeah.
I don't write in that book. That's a prayer book. So all my prayers is in that book.
Okay.
So it's something that I won't just scribble, what's your phone number in the book kind of a thing. So I have so many books depending for what it is. And I found that's how I find my healing as well. Because I don't like anybody to know anything about me. Because you have that where people use it against you, or people want to know too much.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to get into it. I'm somebody that I don't like to share my emotions. Don't ask me what's wrong. So I find that if I write everything down, it helps a lot. So if somebody is also like that, try that if you can't speak to a therapist, because a therapist is also a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not everybody can go.
But yeah, at Crystal Church, there's a family pastor named Pastor Neil that can assist if you will be feeling comfortable with a male. There's help, guys. There's churches that do have trustworthy people, but also be careful. I'm sorry, I'm not against churches, but,
But
we are
everybody is a
dealing with
person.
people. Yeah.
Yeah,
We are
that's why I
dealing with
always say,
people.
don't blame the church. I hate it when people say, this church hurt me. The church didn't hurt you.
It's a
Someone
person.
in the
The
church
church hurt
that
you.
goes to the church, that might even leave tomorrow also. Don't say, the church hurt me. I don't go to church because the church hurt me. I moved to a different church because the church hurt me. It's someone specific. Don't let that. The same way, if someone bumps into you in a mall but hard, you don't say,
Southgate Mall bumped me.
Southgate Mall hurt me.
I don't
You
like
say,
going to Southgate because people there
this
are rude.
auntie hurt me. You know what I'm trying to... Just like
Yeah.
to say, everybody is their own person, identity, and all of that. And unfortunately, when it comes to situations and the trust thing, it is, you need to be ready, because you don't know what's going to happen with the information after that. If you do hear someone else knows about it, how you're going to feel, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
So it is a conversation you have with yourself to say, how am I going to get through this? If I choose this way, if this happens, how am I going to deal with it? If that happens and all goes well, then you're happy. But you must also know, if things don't work out my way, what happens. It's the same like going for a job interview. If I get the job, yay. If I don't get the job, how am I going to handle the situation of, I'm now disappointed,
Yeah.
finances, all the extras that come with it.
And also be careful, guys. Our last words, ne?
Please be careful.
The job seeking. Be careful with that, because the rapists and human trafficking also happens through job seekers. Finding the job, there's an address in town that you go to, and it's finish mail. So do your research, find out if this company really exists, call around,
And
ask
how
your
you do
friends.
that, the quickest thing is go onto YouTube, put in the company's name, and put review after that. Even with shopping, it's anything simple. Somebody has always reviewed something before.
And also, Vinge, one thing that we spoke about is you can actually research a person. Before you date them, search them. Check if they've got criminal records. Het hulle goed man. Do you remember where to go to?
I don't
You
remember.
couldn't
I'll
get
find
it.
out and then I'll post it.
Please do. That is very, very important. My last words, can I?
Yeah, because we've already had our last words.
A
now.
woman needs to be respected for the role they play in this life. We are not a piece of meat for vultures to devour. We are nurturers, right? We are great partners, because great men come because they have great women in their lives, right? Ask President Obama. We keep communities together, and we are the ones who gives life. We give birth, right? We love hard. Hey guys, hey Mara, the stupid love that we also have. No wonder those doctors running. The love we love is blind. Yo. Don't take advantage of that, but embrace and protect us. So we cannot be desensitized or become complicit in our abuse as well, ladies. The Bill of Rights. Do you guys read the Bill of Rights? The Bill of Rights, which is enshrined in our Constitution, Chapter 2, details our rights to be protected. Educate yourselves, ladies, with this document and stay woke.
Stay woke. Stay wakker.
For me, my closing is everything you said. I agree. But many times we're speaking about something that you didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
Nobody asks to be raped. And if you have gone through it, we have spoken about certain things on how you can go and get help or something like that to get it off your chest, to help the next person and everything. But nobody asks for it. So for me, if we can take the shame away from it, because it's normal to go on TikTok and somebody asks what's your body count and we're like 109 and you know, and they're like 100 and then someone will say 26 and they're like only 26. How is that not shameful? But something I did not ask for is shameful. If we can, if anything, and you know we always speak about women standing together, and I think that this is a fight where you don't just say women, let's stand together. I think every single person should stand together. Because many a times you're in a situation where it is your guardian and you didn't ask to be in a relationship where it's a boyfriend or something or a random person on the street, and as much as you can't say just go here and it won't happen. I'm just saying, please watch your surroundings with anything. If somebody does even a little bit give you a off feeling,
run.
Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, you
Follow
run,
your gut, man.
Follow that gut. If it's someone in your household, follow the gut and do what you must do to get out. Many times there's going to be people that don't understand, can't relate or anything like that. But just fight the best way you can fight. And unfortunately for women today, it is the run. And do it, because we can speak about what the government says and all of those things, but we do know that there's no support from there at all. So if you feel uncomfortable, Lorraine mentioned here at Crystal, there is a pastor, there's many pastors. If you want to speak to a woman or anything, just meet up with someone and say, I'm in this situation, I feel uncomfortable, it hasn't happened yet, but this is what I feel. Because there is no right and wrong. If you're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. And prevention is better. So get out there, tell somebody you're uncomfortable, get to the right person. Don't make it a Skinner story. Get to the right person. We said have full-on conversations with yourself. Have those conversations, and I'm praying that if anybody has gone through it, that there is healing at the end of the tunnel. And whether the healing is not really great, that healing does come slowly but surely. The healing will come. If you want to call one of us, just pop in and say, can we go for coffee? Just do something and get yourself out of your situation so that we can help each other into a better light. You might not get full healing, but your concentration might go to something else that allows you to adapt in a different manner. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next week. And hopefully we pray healing for Anka to be back next week.
And healing for those who
I'll never come here again.
We enjoyed you. We enjoyed you.
A lot, actually.
As you should.
I'm
You guys
so
don't really
sorry.
have a choice.
I'm so sorry, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope to see you next week. Bye.
Bye.